As it was once said, send the video. Hey, what's good, John? This your boy.
Full scene, baby. Full scene.
Back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, because we got the squad in the building. Yeah. Pettiest man alive, P Kid, as always, man, in the back. Big Cal and the super producer, Joel Holt. Wow. I'm jealous. That camera's phenomenal. Look at that camera angle right there. Look at that camera angle. No new cam. Who this? Look at this guy.
What a beautiful chocolate man.
Really?
Hey yo.
Switch the other. Just switch back.
Hey yo.
That actually was hilarious.
That was wild. And of course, sitting in the Ringo's red hot corner. No Ringo here, but prayers up for our brother. But JC, the man back in the building. In the, full cream, and of course, Brandon Hyatt. Oh, I'm sorry. The color is cream. The color is cream. What color would you call that?
A lot of pauses.
I would consider it more of a taupe. More of a taupe.
Friend of the show, as always, Brandon Hyatt joining us as well from the Chicago Sports Podcast. Tune in with him over there as well. Steve-O said, what I come into? Hey, yo.
The show. You came into
welcome
the
to the
show.
show, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, we got a lot to get into on today's show. I mean, we already know what the conversation is, boys. Like, who's to blame for the offensive struggles? What are we focusing on now? Got to look ahead, best and worst of the weekend, of course, and recapping this game in totality. All that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Leave that 5-star review. It's the only channel talk Chicago sports. How Chicago talks. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. The kid's excited on this one, bro. You're a little giddy after Sunday's game. A little bit. You feeling it? The big Flacco energy?
No. I'm going to be honest with you.
We got the recap.
Oh, yeah. Let's jump into the recap first, and then we do our thing. The Chicago Bears recap brought to you by
Sponsored by nobody.
I mean, listen, week 15 definitely did not go the way that we thought that it was going to go. The Chicago Bears come out on the losing end of it. And, I mean, offensively, it says it all right there, right? 88 rush yards, 148 passing yards, and not enough.
But they had 29.
They only had 29. Yeah, there was literally no commitment to the run in conditions that said, please run the football. Bears did come away with a couple of takeaways, 3 takeaways, actually, interceptions and a fumble on that one.
They got to the quarterback.
You got to the quarterback, but on the flip side of that, I mean, listen, 2 picks for the Bears, but can we count those? I don't know. Both Hail Marys in the end zone that were kicked up. Tremaine Edmonds had a day,
statistically, they count, but I mean, like, realistically, we're not going to look at that as bad play.
Yeah. Tremaine Edmonds
the last one hit the floor.
1 touchdown, 1 pick. Love that. 7 tackles, 2.5 sacks from Montez Sweat.
MVP.
That sweat effect is real out here, brother. TJ Edwards was dominant as always. 6 tackles, half sack for him on the day. DeMarcus Walker getting the other half of that sack.
Yep.
Hey, yo. It was odd. Justin Fields, not exactly the day you want to see from him. 166, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. They do count on the stat sheet, but we know what those were. Hail Marys that kind of get kicked up in the end zone. It is what it is, blah, blah, blah. Cole Kmet got the lone touchdown on the day after being offside on a play. So a good way to fix that. And Justin Jones, sack and a half, 5 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 2 QB hits. The Bears defense was all over Joe Flacco in this one, but it did not matter at the end of the day because the Bears take the L.
Facts.
Tough day, tough Sunday. You saw me and Joel in the clip if you haven't seen it. I mean, me, Joel, Cameron's in the background just saying, throw it to DJ Moore. Throw it to DJ Moore. Joel's just like, Cameron, would you please shut up? Like, in the clip. Like, I think I screamed right before he said it. But, I mean, it was just a tough loss. It was one you didn't want to see. It was one that pretty much eliminates you from playoff contention at this point. I think most people feel like, you know, numerically the Bears aren't eliminated, but it feels like this is pretty much a done deal at this point. And I think now, right, for the Bears, you're just what is the focus on now? What is the focus moving forward? And who is to blame for the offensive struggles that we saw? I mean,
Everyone.
I'm sorry, guys. Like, I get it. Like, we're gonna hear from some Justin Fields fans on this. We're gonna hear from some Justin Fields. I don't know if detractors the right word. People that question, right? We get both sides of the equation on here. No matter what you feel like, and I love Justin. I want Justin to be here. Want him to be the quarterback of the Chicago Bears long term. That has been my stance the entire season. He played bad. Drew Brees had bad games. Tom Brady had bad games.
They all have bad
Everybody
games.
has bad games. He played bad versus the number one defense in the NFL.
That was belingered, though. I mean, they were injured.
Well, hold on now. Hold
Now,
on.
hold on.
Wait.
They were injured, though.
Look,
They were injured, but the people that were injured that we were worried about talking about on the defensive line, it didn't matter because Miles Garrett and Za'Darius Smith were there.
but what was that touchdown?
Those guys.
That touchdown to Tunyon would have gave him well over 200 yards passing. That was a monster drop.
Just that one
That's a huge-
pass.
That was a monster drop.
Listen, and we'll get into all of that, but I think, right, here's the thing. When you look at it offensively, right, that if that touchdown is completed to Tunyon, we're talking about Luke Getsy scheming up a great play on that play and it being in the end zone. The bottom line is the offense wasn't able to get the honestly.
Everyone wants Luke Getsy's job, but it's like you talk about drops.
Well,
it's like he schemed the drops.
He schemed open
He just
a wide
schemed
open
open,
pass that got dropped.
It's a combination. It's not all. It was everybody at a piece. I mean, some of the coaching technically was okay in those type of conditions in the rain. So it's not like he called a really bad game, but they was playing a safe game. But then the guys don't execute. What do we say? Justin Fields was getting pressure all day. They were getting in that backfield a lot. What I didn't like, what I wanted to see was, why don't you improvise a little bit? Like that's where what made you dangerous.
Justin felt like it. Listen, he played better than he did the first time. But rewatching that game, it felt like he always knew where Myles Garrett was at. Which on one side is a good thing, but on the another side, I think stifles his freeness with running, right? Because he's thinking about, okay, where's Myles at on this play? I see him. All right, is he making a move? Is he looking to attack? Where is he going? Because there's a couple of times where I saw him. I mean, there wasn't a ton for Justin to do with his legs in the game. To me, rewatching the tape, I felt like, he kind of utilized his legs when he had to and when he could. But there were a couple of plays where, in my opinion, it looked like a spot Justin Fields could have gotten through. There was one where maybe the D tackles come together and he's like, I'm not getting smashed in between two D tackles. There's another one where the pocket's actually
executive
moving.
calls.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, he made business decisions. There's another one where the pocket's moving right, and you see him, maybe he could take off there, but Myles Garrett is right there. Yeah, I mean, like, Myles Garrett is right there, so.
And that's awareness.
To me, at the end of the day, Justin Fields did not play well enough.
No.
And that's facts. But I also think that Luke Getsy's offensive game plan was a joke. And the Bears still do simple, difficult.
I think it's the same thing in Detroit. Like, he comes out, schemes well, scripts well, right? And then they just don't know what the heck to do come that second half. Because that was the problem. Like, technically, everything would have been fine up until the end of that fourth quarter. They had two drives where they basically went conservative, got scared, they couldn't get it done. But then again, there was some 4th and 1s that didn't convert, right?
Yeah.
There was a few of those situations. So it's like, I hate that this bad combination of, like, I do think that Getsy is not that great of a coordinator, but there was also situations. Most of that to me was that they definitely did not come out aggressive like they should have. And they played safe. And every time you play not to lose, you lose. So that's what we ended up happening. But it was a lot of execution too that didn't happen as well.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a ton of plays where, to me, right, I like the aggressiveness of Getsy on 4th down to let Justin have an RPO and you keep the ball in his hands.
I do.
You know what I hate?
I do.
Darnell Mooney, you want to block?
Yep.
I mean, like, I get it, right? He comes out and he says, well, we were supposed to be blocking on DJ's man downfield. DJ's man ended up blitzing when Justin took off, and so I wasn't prepared to block on that. I mean, like, but you throw a shoulder, you throw a little, it's Justin Fields. He caught him on a shoestring tackle, and barely a shoestring tackle. Literally caught him by the aglet of the shoestring.
He made a tackle.
And it tripped up Justin Fields. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, there's too many. This was a game where your offense played poorly in totality to me over the number one or versus the number one defense. and you still had a chance to win if you can just make a couple plays. And on the flip side of that, when we look at a guy like Joe Flacco, who also had a bad game. Was getting pressured the entire time and was throwing interceptions left and right and was throwing pick sixes and had a bad game. But when he needed to get the football to David Njoku or to Amari Cooper, they caught it.
That's it.
I'm also saying this. The one thing I learned from that, and it's really evident, is the mental stability to sit there and stay focused enough to make that throw.
Mm-hmm.
Like how many QBs after 3 INTs are still taking that shot downfield?
Because you got nothing to lose.
Yeah, he got nothing.
He had nothing. It's easy to say, but we've seen QBs shrink back. We've seen people shrink back. He didn't do that, right?
And so Joe Flacco don't know what team he's gonna be on next year. He letting it rip, baby.
That's right. Out there playing football.
So if I might be a Brown, I might not.
The learning thing for me is I don't compare Joe Flacco, Super Bowl quarterback who's had his payday, stuff like that. He's on the tail end of his career to a young Justin Fields trying to learn it. Yeah. I think that's unfair. And people are doing that all over social media and stuff like that. That's totally unfair, right? But if you look at it, both QBs play bad.
Yeah.
They all have, there's reasons for them playing bad. But how they overcome it and who showed up at the fourth quarter is ultimately who won this game. And that's the reason why I feel like some people should give Justin time. Hey, Joe Flacco couldn't have done that at 20.
No, I think it's two different scenarios. Technically, you say they both play bad. Flacco literally was turning the ball over. I'm we're going to get 3, if not 4 interceptions from Flacco. Justin Fields did not turn the ball over like that. It was more like he is controlled to a point of, we're going to play this type of scheme. But every possession counted because it's we're only sending 2 guys out to throw the ball. Yeah. We're only sending out so many receivers. We don't run the ball very well. Our line is not giving him any protection. But, again, we're going to get accused of defending Justin. But it's if you're looking at the whole thing in totality, he played bad in the sense of the scheme to me was bad. But was he coached to not even use your legs to why do the dumb design run plays that go nowhere? It's the ones when you break down and extend the play with your legs. That's where the gold is.
And he has several of those.
And so we didn't get any of that. This is the time to do that. This is the time to put a dagger in their heart when you do that type of stuff.
I think this was the game where I would have wanted to see Justin kind of free flow it. Yeah, I mean, because this is the game where it's okay, what's the difference between their defense and your offense, the playmakers? Right. Listen, I love Robert Tonyan. There's a reason he's got 10 targets on the year, 7 receptions.
I think
whatever it is, right? I'm not throwing you the football when I know you ain't bringing it in on a consistent
But let's keep
basis.
it a buck, bro. Justin Fields is normally one of, if not the best athlete on the field.
Yeah.
Not against the Browns. Against the Browns, he's not the best athlete on the field.
He's still that guy.
He's probably still the best athlete on the field, but there's an athlete on the other side that
keeps you honest enough to say you roam outside this pocket, you're going to get it.
Miles Garrett keeps you honest.
Yeah.
Right?
He keeps you honest.
It doesn't matter, though. We had 2 and we had a touchdown.
Yeah.
We finally got I was hoping Jalen Johnson would get a pick 6. I was calling for a pick 6 this game. We had all the opportunities in the world to win this game, and it's the same situation. You get up to the lead, and then you start. Let's just go conservative. You're too scared. The thing is, when you go up against top competition, you got to have the confidence to say, "I'm the one. I'm the guy." This isn't I'm asking for permission to beat you. Yeah. They're the number 1 defense. Well, you make them the number 2 or 3.
Yeah.
The whole point is a number 1, number 2 continue.
That's what you did to the Lions.
The whole point is that we're not scared.
They're not a top 10 defense no more.
Can I give Getsy some credit on something though? No, seriously. He protected Justin better than that.
He did.
He protected Justin way better than that.
Definitely did, right? Hey, there was a tight end in at least every play.
Now here's the thing. When you do that, when you have more people in the box, you have less people running routes.
Yes.
And that makes it easier for them to actually scheme against you, right? So that's why I wasn't looking at Justin's total yards or anything. I didn't care for that because I realized, hey, we're going to have more people protecting Justin, and this is probably going to be a really slow game until you see that Joe Flacco has 400 yards
because he has nothing to lose.
But again, if we don't have those drops and stuff like that, the numbers make it look different.
It's big playability.
Did anybody happen to watch the Baltimore-Jacksonville game? Just any series with Lamar Jackson?
No.
The man had time. The man had time to throw.
He's having fun.
Yeah. He had time to throw.
Here's the most dangerous combination in the world. a quarterback like Justin Fields and Lamar Jackson with time and speed.
And speed.
And speed.
Like I can sit back here and assess the whole field, and I can just take off on y'all. Oh, okay, this is cool. The one thing I will say, right, and I think this is Steve-O brings this up. This is a great point here. Even when the offense got in a position for an easy score, it took them 9 plays.
They weren't.
That tells you how poorly the offense played that day. That tells you how. And the only time that we were able to get in the end zone was Justin Fields making magic.
I don't know if that's.
He was about to get sacked from the
I
left
agree with
side.
that.
He
He
slipped
definitely
out
had
of
to
it,
kinda
rolls
scramble.
out right, and throws a right-handed pass going left to Cole Kmet as he's falling out of bounds.
Literal
Like,
magic.
that,
I don't
that's
care
the
how
only-
many plays it took me, as long as I get it, because we're talking about, like you said, the best defense.
No, but I think what goes into that is you're doing simple, difficult.
No, no, it's difficult
What
all out.
no.
It's the best defense in football.
But what plays were they running, right? It took them 4 plays in before they went, maybe we should run a tush push. Maybe we should just try to push this 6'4" quarterback 1 yard over the line. Maybe that should be our goal right here, right? Maybe we should utilize this 6 foot tall, 235-pound running back instead of trying to sit here and do rollout plays. And then you end up getting a penalty on the tush push, right? And it takes you, a Justin Fields slip out, roll right, throw left, under the leg, baseball pass, basically to Cole Kmet to score a 1 yard touchdown. Eddie Jackson got you to the 2. You know what I mean? So, like, those are the things to me where it's like, there are times where Luke Getsy tries to be the smartest man in the room. And listen, Justin Fields has flaws. I'm not sitting here, and I've never said he doesn't. I've never said this guy's a finished product. He's perfect. He's done. Go out there and roll with him. But what I do believe is that Justin's flaws are, what's the right word? Exacerbated? I'm trying to say
Exaggerated.
No,
exasperated.
I know what you're trying to say. Let's go with exaggerated.
Exasperated, right? That means made bigger, right?
Blown out of proportion.
Hold on, give it a second.
Wait.
White man.
So it's exaggerated. We can go with that one.
Both one. Oh, he went simple too. Never mind.
I don't know if I could spell either or, but I could say exaggerated a lot easier.
I tell you what, exaggerated sounds better because we all understand it.
Justin's because I think what I'm trying to say is right. Like his issues are
Amplified.
Are amplified,
amplified
because of the game plan that is put out in front of him.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, better way to say it. I was trying to be smart there. See, exasperated. See, I was right. Yeah, I doubted myself.
One word.
It is a word, but you questioned it so much. We was like, move on to the one we know.
I said it.
I
was right,
bro.
You
Ask
have
the
to
old
say
guy.
it with confidence and move the heck on. Like, you just have to say it and just roll.
Two things can be right at the same time.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And that's such a great point to have about this because 2 things can be true. Luke Getsy, to me, calls a piss poor game. There are moments that are great.
To your point, I agree with that, and I exaggerated that point. But
Very good word.
Sick of his stuff already.
but check this out. I listened to Cole Kmet, and I was waiting for him. I'm like, throw him under the bus. Come on, man. Come on, let me feel it. Preach, man. Put us in church. And this is what he said. He said, we needed to execute better.
There we go.
He put it on all of them. And I look at it, though, but hey, the last thing that we're forgetting is the big uglies up front. Remember what you said on Friday? I think it was 2021. That man got sacked 10 times.
Yeah.
This time I don't know what the hits were on him, but this time it was 3.
It was a lot.
It was 9, but it was only like 3 sacks.
3 sacks.
Three
Yes,
sacks,
3
yeah.
sacks.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Guess we're moving in the right direction in theory.
yes. Yeah.
Well, they tried to go max protect, and the problem
Yeah,
is
they
like
did the
we
whole
don't
game, yeah.
have enough linemen. We
lose Tevin, and I think that's
and
that's a great
actually,
point.
to your point, I think once we lost Tevin, it was like, oh,
yeah, they knew they had nothing.
we're done. We're in trouble.
But Pat, what else did you say Friday? You said the center, the left tackle, and the right tackle were out. So right away we're ahead of the.
Oh, you talking about for Cleveland?
For Cleveland.
Yeah, and then they lost their right guard. I can't think of his name, but
the backup
Tonio,
Batonio, or something like that.
yeah.
Batini, something like that.
I think it's
Yeah.
Batonio.
Yeah, I mean, like they lose him during the game. Flacco was under
duress.
worse condition
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He
than
had
Justin
pressure off.
They were
Fields
not
was all
supposed-
day.
Yeah.
He had pressure.
What happened is you let the momentum come back. They were down Once you took 2 different series and did not score, you let them back in the game. They're like, look, we got nothing to lose. Let it fly. So what if Flacco threw 2 interceptions already, if not 3?
Yeah.
So he had 3 interceptions on the day, 2
but
touchdowns
it's still a
with 3.
17-7 game.
Yeah, but now he's racking up the yards because now
Yeah.
it's like, well, we're just gonna keep throwing. They only had 29 rushing yards. When you have nothing to lose. So once we get it, and they attacked our weakness, which we're still the 22nd in terms of we were 22nd in pass defense.
Yeah.
They couldn't run on us, so they attacked our weakness.
To me, it's almost like Luke Getsy plays as if he doesn't expect to be ahead in any game. It's like, oh, we have a 10-point lead. Okay, let's calm down. Let's slow it up. Let's just maintain this 10-point lead as if a touchdown is in 7
It's
games.
like,
Hey, I caught it.
Yeah, like, wow. Okay, let me just relax now.
I feel like
we
challenging
we're
JC
conservative.
today. If you notice in the group chat, like I've been going at JC all day. Right? It's almost
arguing
intentional.
back and
I want to
forth,
see
Pat.
what happens with this, but I'm gonna challenge that.
What are you talking
You want to know? I'm
about?
gonna challenge that.
Yeah. What?
Luke Getsy, like Komet said, he can't control execution. He can only scheme it. And when you really look at it, this is the same defense that made Lamar Jackson look real human. Lamar Jackson threw 2 picks against this defense, right? Lamar Jackson's a better QB than Justin Fields. He
At
should
this
be.
point, yeah.
He
Gotcha.
should. I mean, he should be more professional experience, MVP,
Facts.
all that stuff,
Right.
right?
Start there. MVP.
right, MVP. Like, so it's
Yeah.
not. Is it, I know somebody's like, oh, he's
Resume.
always hating on Justin. It's a fact. All right, he's a better
Resume's
QB right now, right?
Okay.
all I want for
But you
Christmas
can't-
is a new OC. Is a new OC.
True.
Is a
But it's execution. When you sit there and you have people who seem to be shrinking back, you have to think, all right, how do I build momentum with them? Once we start making mistakes, it starts snowballing the other way. And we are too young of a team to bounce back from that. That's a problem that we have. We are a relatively young team that is put in a very high pressure situation to execute, perform, and win. And we shouldn't be in that situation. Justin
this
is in a
is-
situation
this
that
is-
shouldn't be. He shouldn't be in his 3rd year fighting for his job.
But this is the reason why I still say that Justin didn't have quote unquote a bad game. He didn't have a great game. I didn't expect him to have a all-out game against the number 1 defense in the league, arguably. What I'm saying is that since you mentioned execution, that's on the team as a whole. Everybody has to do their job and their role. Like you said, Darnell Mooney's not blocking, so that's part of the game plan. Then people can't catch when you have the ball coming in their breadbasket.
And to your point, the refs are against you because I watched.
My God.
I watched J Mac. I watched him. Shout out to J Mac on Twitter. He showed a video at the very last. Justin Fields fires away that Hail Mary. And
last play of the half.
They blast him, man. They blast him.
No hit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the quote unquote interception that hit the ground too.
Yeah,
So their whole play was
they
just messed
blast
up.
Fields, and they're like everybody's like hit him like a running back.
There's no excuse for that.
He's not a running back.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, no.
Cam
It's
Newton treatment.
I mean, listen, he hasn't gotten one roughing the passer call all season.
Nope.
Yeah.
At this point, and I'm not gonna lie to you, and this is why, right, with the coaches, with everything that goes into the coaching, with everything that we've talked about, right, I have to ask, when's my head coach gonna stand up and do something for his starting quarterback?
Thank you.
Boom.
When's
Thank
my head coach? Because you know what doesn't work? Send in the tape. Send in the tape. You've been sending in tape every week, every game, every day, and nothing has changed. You want to know what? Listen, was Andy Reid wrong and Pat Mahomes wrong to call out the refs because of a historical play on Kadarius Toney? 110%.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Were they wrong?
Yes.
100%. 100%. But you want to know what happened?
He stood by his QB.
No. The next week,
They ain't called.
an offensive pass interference or an offensive offsides was called on a wide receiver, which that had only been the second time it had been called on a wide receiver all season, because now the NFL doesn't want to look bad.
So they lost the battle to win the war, basically.
You lost the battle. They both got fined, what, $15,000 for their comments?
Yeah.
You lost the battle. But you know what? I saw Amari Cooper get flagged for a offensive pass or offsides.
Yeah.
And that's the second one on a wide receiver this year. Most of those calls, I think there's been 12 now on the season, are on offensive linemen lining up for the tush push and jumping to her.
I said, oh, Carl, you got to get him back. You better go down there and get him back.
And then I came down. I said, I love
So
it.
then I came down.
My favorite thing in the world. Shout out Magic Johnson. I ain't gonna be here. But no, I look at that situation, right? And to
Why do we
me,
even
see you,
have
B
that
dog.
clip? Why do we even have it?
you gotta have it.
Why
You
did
gotta
that
have it.
even work?
You gotta have it.
No, it's
Well, getting them back. You
no,
know.
I know. I'm just saying. It was like it's a random, but it
to
worked.
me, when I look at,
Well, I didn't want to interject while he was making his points. I had to wait till he was done.
It's a joke, baby. Just roll with it. Baby.
I'm sorry.
to me, when I look at Justin Fields and what he's trying to accomplish here, right? Like, one, how about protect your quarterback? That's what I'm looking for from the coaching staff. Stand up for him. I don't care who the quarterback is. It could have been Nathan Peterman back there. It could have been Tyson Bagent back there. If you're hitting my quarterback late, you're hitting my quarterback late. How about we get some flags for him? He's been dealing with this for 3 years. On top of all of that, though, like, the number one thing for me with where this Bears team is supposed to be heading offensively is we can talk about how they're the worst of whatever name that stat is, not this season, in history. That tells me that there's something bigger than player issues here. You've now lost 3 games. 3 games with a 10-plus point lead heading into the fourth quarter with 2+ touchdowns. You know who else has done that in history?
One other team.
Nobody.
Nobody.
The Bears. Matt Eberflus is the head coach of that. And that tells me, right, there's a mentality here that allows that to happen. Whatever that is. There's a mentality here. There's something here that is consistently being put out on the field. And guess what, boys? In every single one of those games, what do we come out and say at the end of every one of those games? Just felt like they really just stopped playing.
They left their foot off the gas.
Yep.
Why'd you take your foot off the gas? Why'd you, like, you look at the Detroit game, it's like, okay, in the fourth quarter, we go prevent defense. We run two footballs straight to the back of our center and call it a day.
Broncos game, same thing.
Broncos game, same thing.
There was some questionable play. They had the field goal at the end of the
And in this one, Darnell Mooney and DJ Moore both call it out, right? And yet again, and here's my issue with it, right? Justin Fields did this in week 3.
Yep.
The world ended. Oh, how can you call out your coaches? That ain't a leader. Well, we need leaders that are out here. This ain't a leader. I don't know why I went with that accent. But
why did you?
I don't know why I went with that accent. It's not Chicago at all. Hey, that's not a leader. It's not what I want to see from my guy. You know what I mean? Over right there. That's not. Why is he over there? He shouldn't be calling out his coaches.
That's not a Chicago accent either. But
That's more Southside. That's more South. Oh, you ain't took these calls.
That's a Boston. That's a
Hey,
Boston
you ain't
accent.
took these calls.
I've been listening to
it.
I've been listening. Hey, by the way, some of you all call in and say the dumbest stuff. I want you all to know it's as if you didn't watch the game at all. It's as if you ain't watched the sport at all. Let me tell you about this guy.
I miss Trubinsky. I don't know. There was
the
just
Trubinsky
something
is the
about
one.
that guy.
And I played flag football
There
for
was
3
just
years.
something about that Trubinsky guy that really stood out for me.
And when I played flag
really
football,
emulated a leader.
No,
they had no idea what I was going to do.
What was the guy that had the different levels?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I
They
played football at all 3 levels, baby. Let me tell you,
That man-
I got
now, mind you, all
touch,
3 levels did not include
2-hand
college.
touch
Oh, you talking about
and flag. All 3 levels.
And flag. When
Touch and 2-hand touch at different levels.
did you play?
me?
No, it's a caller on a Chicago
No,
Bears
a
podcast.
caller called in on the post game show.
Oh my
No, no, this man mentioned every level but high school, collegiate, and NFL.
Hey, bro.
It's like
He
you
said
play no
touch.
professional football, like nothing.
Oh no,
Hey,
that's horrible.
with an NFL fullback on it. With an NFL player in the studio. You know how ballsy you got to be for that?
He said I played all 3 levels.
touch.
And 2-hand touch and 2-hand touch, 2 different levels. I'm not even sure he's talking about football. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like,
He didn't even say Canadian League.
what is happening right now? He didn't even say CFL, bro. He could have said CFL.
Hey,
But no, I look at when I can sit here and lay out multiple situations when we're seeing the same thing, and we can say, oh, it's Justin Fields' fault. The quarterback didn't get the job done when the quarterback was supposed to get the job done. Quarterback had you up 28-3 in one of those games. Quarterback had you up 28-7 in another one of those games. What more you want the quarterback to do?
no, quarterback didn't have you up 17-7, but
The quarterback had you up 17-7. Listen,
no,
this game,
he
again,
did not have you up
He was part
17-7.
of
Your
it.
defense had you up 17-7.
He was part of
But
it.
this is one.
I mean,
No.
he threw the touchdown. It took
touch.
9 plays.
I mean, yeah, he okay. I'll give you
He was
that.
part of it, right?
Yeah.
Like, listen, it's not like
He scored. He scored.
he scored. And
It
look,
would
he
have been
scored.
10-7.
He scored. Could have been 10-7, you know. I played Park District.
Hey, bro, I just seen that. I
saw
played
that.
Park
I
District
saw
1, 2, 3, hold, and to the
Hey,
face.
I played Killer Man in elementary school, and then we had the BFL. We had our own brother's little football league.
Now hold on, Killer Man on concrete no, that's
We-
elite right there. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
it made a lot of people. That made or break some football players right there. Okay, what y'all say? Y'all don't know about that nowadays. Y'all too soft.
Hey,
Anyway.
I'm just glad that y'all called it Killer Man because I really got nervous.
Oh no, we know what to
that's
call
what
it.
the name
Oh,
was.
That's what
we're
it's
we're
called.
live. We're live, Pat.
We can't say that.
We're live.
Tell
Pat.
you off
Never
air.
mind.
I
Never
will tell
mind.
you off air.
Never
It is
mind.
not politically correct anymore. If y'all know in the chat, y'all know in the chat. That's what it was called back in the day.
Sorry, you two.
Didn't even know that was a thing. But anyway, at the end of the day, I just offensively, you've seen the same things pop up, and DJ Moore and Darnell Mooney echoed the same thing that was echoed versus that Justin Fields said.
Well,
Right, in week 3. Hey, we can't take our foot off the gas. I feel like we're not attacking.
yeah.
We're playing, whatever the scheme is supposed to be. We're playing whatever. DJ Moore basically was like, when he said it, he had to think about it. He was like, we could have taken more shots. And he thought about it and he was like, this is gonna go to a bad place. I'm gonna just stop talking now. Yeah, we could have done a little bit more there. But you know what I mean? Like that's when you see how long have we been talking about players calling out Luke Getsy's play calling? We can call it whatever we want.
I think
It's players calling out Luke Getsy's play calling.
So
Yeah.
then are we saying that at the very least Claypool was right on his way out?
He just did it wrong.
I mean, Claypool.
I
Was
think it
right,
was just
but
the wrong
Claypool
person.
Claypool did it wrong.
He did it
Okay.
wrong.
Claypool went
He
about it the
he
wrong
gave
way.
up.
Yeah, he gave up. Yeah,
He
no.
quit.
He just
And
quit.
if he had
What-
just kind of like, you still have to execute.
a couple things I
You still have
like.
to put good tape on
That's a
because you
fact.
got to go to a different team.
Yeah.
You know,
A couple things I did like though.
It's cost 7
out
balls
of
since he left.
even though we did lose the game, I mean, it was another consistent showing of that defense. I mean, you got
Yes.
guys like ball hawks out there. Tyreek did his thing,
Mm-hmm.
but even DeMarcus Walker stepped in and actually probably played better, or at least I was wondering he should keep the same type of productivity with Yannick
Mhm.
going out, and the defensive line looked good. It's still scary
It's
to
actually
see.
better productivity if we've been honest.
I
I'm
think
just
this would be a
saying.
good way to segue into the next topic.
Well,
Wouldn't
and
you?
the thing was just that there are things of like where do we go? If we add a couple more pieces on this defense, but really, I mean, getting that offensive line, that defensive line, that's going to be key.
Baki said Claypool was probably calling Getsy a band in training camp. No, that was
He was going
that
hard.
was reserved
Yeah.
for his own teammates, dog. I don't care what nobody say. I wish y'all could have seen me and Herb face.
No, that was a universal. That's a universal word right there. That's a universal.
I wish
phrase.
you could have seen me and Herb face. Just ain't we supposed to be fighting? Somebody's supposed to be fighting right now. No, I think here's the best thing right coming out of this game is now the dialogue begins for the rest of the next
Draft
8 months.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. What's
It's-
the focus now that the playoffs
Wait.
is all but done? Shout out Raging in the building as well,
Wait,
man.
is-
B-Bill in the building,
is it-
B-Dog in the building.
Is it time?
No Michigan fights off.
Is it time?
Oh, GM
Oh, it's time to
Poles
put the
hat is
GM
on. Oh, boy.
GM.
Oh, you know what this means.
He gets
I'm
the
naturally going to disagree with everything he says.
Draft,
That's what that is.
draft.
I have to. You want to know why?
Petty GM versus the GM.
We just
Building.
GM differently. You know, we GM differently.
Well, you know what? And here's I think this is going to be the first year where we find out how Ryan Poles GMs. Because there is a scenario where, I mean, you look at this whole thing and say, all right, I saw improvement from year 1 to year 2. Justin Fields looks better this year than he did last year.
That's,
does.
That's a fact.
He developed.
That's a fact.
Your
Good ball
defense
better.
looks better this year than it did last year.
That's a
Yeah.
fact.
Way better.
You're winning more games,
That's a fact.
and maybe there needs to be an adjustment offensively.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
O-line.
Hey, hold on.
Listen.
Let's finish out the season first. But that's a
Right,
fact.
right. Well, you already won more games. We won 3 last year.
Yeah,
You
we-
already won more games.
Yeah, but we got our team now. We were selling our team.
Yeah. But no, so there's a scenario where he holds on to Justin Fields. Maybe there's a change at the offensive play caller. Maybe there isn't. But I would say if you're going to change anything, that's the one that off of this game to me feels like there could be a change at. If you're going to go that route, right, you go get him more weapons. You add a MJH or a MHJ. You add a Olu or a Joe Alt. You add a 3 technique for the defensive side. A young man from Illinois looking dominant.
Now here's the thing: he has to get the 3 tech.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, there's no
there's
doubt
no-
about it.
that-
somebody's
You're on the precipice of creating a elite level defense
Absolutely.
all time.
We
We
can
have
do
the
bait
secondary.
QB all you want to, but a 3-tech is coming off the board. Like
Yeah.
a bear is getting picked at 3-tech. That's it. That's all. Like
Or
Should.
no, that's it. That's all. Like it really is.
Well, no, yeah, he has to get a three.
He has to
technique.
get a
No more.
three-tech.
If he goes into next season and he don't come out of it with a 3 technique, that is GM suicide.
That's a fair.
Yeah.
I-
Forget the
Yes.
quarterback conversation, all that. Listen, I
Yes.
watched GMs here survive not picking a quarterback forever.
it could
They were
be-
here 10 years.
If
we
you don't
can-
get the linchpin of
we
your
can,
defense, at
we
that
might
point,
go
he's
the
killing
Alex
himself.
Smith
I
route,
agree with that.
and if Fields doesn't become the guy that he needs to be, because you can tag him for that 5th year and let him go if there's nothing that if you got average play calling out of him for the most part, but
Yeah.
the running game is right, the defense and offensive line, it could be like Kansas City. They were still going 12-4, 13-3, depending on your.
I'm gonna be honest.
No, I'm just saying, but
that was elite level play calling there, bro.
no, I'm talking about average
Kansas
quarterback play. I'm talking about the quarterback play.
With
Alex Smith was more like he was a game manager. He was just dinking dunking.
Yeah, but Alex Smith was like
He's a pretty good game.
Alex Smith was he's a
Above
Dak
average.
Prescott game manager,
But-
right? Like
but-
Alex Smith was winning that team
Why
game.
does
Right, but the
Dak
point is
Prescott
that
get
if
strays like
look,
this?
if this is about Paris,
I mean,
we're
that's
talking
a good
about.
comparison.
But
That's
if-
a good comparison.
But if we're talking about not paying someone
Tony
possibly
Romo.
40 something, $50 million, let's just say if he just stays mid, he's looking at 20 something million a year, right? If he's great, he's going to command $40-50 million a year. But if we get to the point where this team is built up, then we finally draft that quarterback where, like they said, resetting the clock. From a business standpoint, I see where he's coming from. Now, if Fields is viewed as a generational talent guy that we don't want to let go, now we got to really make a business decision in terms of paying him. But we still got this young team, and eventually some of these guys are going to get paid.
Well, and I think that's the point, right? Like we're gonna find out. This is the first draft. We're gonna find out who Ryan Poles really is with this team, right? Every GM, I would say, I'm not gonna say every GM, right? 8 out of 10 GMs move on from the quarterback. Because why? Justin Fields ain't his guy. He didn't draft Justin.
He didn't draft Justin.
Justin hasn't done enough for the city to turn on you if you move on from him.
Yeah.
Right? Like 8 out of 10 GMs will move on from Justin Fields.
Yeah.
But
And you might be getting rid of your coach and OC.
and you may be getting rid, well, probably not your head coach, but
But
probably
your OC. So you're
maybe
installing a
OC.
new offense.
So you want to pair him up with somebody that's
Somebody
going
new.
to be good in an offense, blah, blah, blah. I really am intrigued to see kind of where Ryan Poles ends up going with this, because I can see both scenarios playing out. And I think here's the biggest thing for me. Ryan Poles hasn't missed on anything of any ilk that I care about heavily that I'm worried about him making the wrong decision. Now, could it be the wrong decision? Maybe.
Yeah.
But in 2 years of him being here, the biggest issues we've had with him is the wide receivers he's drafted. We all wanted George Pickens, right?
Oh,
I
we
still
were
want
nervous.
George Pickens is a nightmare.
Oh, I was nervous with
George
Vegas
Pickens
Jones.
right now literally is driving Mike Tomlin crazy. He won't stop talking.
But it
Hold on.
goes to
It's
show-
literally just like, my quarterbacks suck and they won't throw me the
Yeah,
ball.
guess what?
It's
Guess
like,
what?
you've been here for a week, brother.
Hey, guess what? But he's also their best receiver by far.
Listen, is he their best
talk your
receiver?
talk.
Hey, is he
Talk
their
your
best
talk.
receiver? 100%. But he's probably not going to be there long.
No, he's not going to be.
Mike
there long.
Tomlin not going to put up with that. He's not going to be there past his rookie
I'm
contract.
going to be honest with you. Mike
Tomlin might trade him this
I'm
offseason.
going to be honest with you. Mike Tomlin might not survive.
Mike Tomlin's probably going to survive. They don't move. Mike Tomlin.
But you gotta have talent.
They
If-
fourth ever coach.
If Bill
Yeah,
Belichick,
Mike Tomlin's like their
third
fourth
or
ever
fourth.
yeah,
coach.
he is.
I doubt they're gonna move
They
on.
keep
Bill
their coaches.
Belichick
They
is
keep their
a
coaches.
Super Bowl. Is the coach of coaches, and he might not have a job.
Well,
Mike Tomlin might.
Well, that's
not
a
have
20-year
And I
run.
bet
Dog.
you the
That's
Browns
different.
wish they kept him.
He's just
Mike
he
Tomlin
might
on
be
a,
aging
Mike
out.
Tomlin on a heck of a run here
He-
too. Now
he's
Let's
aging
say-
out.
Here's
It's
the
like
thing.
Bill Parcells. All those, they're aging out.
Yeah,
But we've seen this happen. Andy Reid was that same coach.
it's so weird.
Andy Reid was that coach who everyone praises, his scheme and stuff like that. He got fired.
Well,
Or they
I think
moved
his
on from
talent. Look,
Andy Reid
why,
couldn't build a
sometimes the voice.
But he could build
They
an
built the
offense.
Andy Reid
offense.
could build an offense.
He
but
worked
couldn't
that
build-
The
offense
defense,
like
they had a really good
crazy.
defense with Brian Dawkins and them.
Oh, they did
They
have
had a-
B
they had
Dog.
a
Yeah, that's right.
monster
Never
dog.
mind. They did build a defense.
I think
just
Jeremiah.
happens.
Yeah.
Jeremiah.
The
what's
city
his
is
name?
turning on him, low key.
They had some dogs on that team.
Once the city starts turning on,
Here's
it's
the
a
wild
wrap.
part, though. Here's the wild part. If you move on from Bill, to me, and we'll get back to the Bears, of course, but if you move on from Bill, to me, it's because you realize that Bill's never going to leave, and there's never a better time to move on from Bill. Bill lost for 10 years.
They had winning records doing those.
They had winning records. But he
And
lost for 10
Tom
years.
Brady got injured.
And he had Tom Brady.
You had a no, but no,
but like
he started to leave because Tom Brady broke his leg,
right,
all that
yeah.
stuff.
Like Bill
you
lost
know,
for 10 years. Like,
but they were dominant.
if Bill was like coming off of the championship run and was probably 10 years younger, they're not talking about moving on.
And the funny
They
thing,
just know that Bill's on his Palpatine run.
the funny thing is, people look
Like
at
you're
that,
gonna get rid of him and try and kill him off, and he gonna come back. Right.
and not you, because I see this comment a lot. I see people like defend or like try to kill Bill because it was like, look at this, he won in like 07 and didn't win again in 14. Are we missing the fact that he made the Super Bowl in the process of that? Like they made 2 Super Bowl runs in the process of that, and they just lost to Eli.
Well, I think
They
what
did
show
lose Eli, yeah.
this is the thing. What has been shown is that consistency, regardless in
Yeah.
anything you do.
Eli.
If you
Yeah.
give the guy some sense of security, he can build his team, he exact his vision. So clearly, the owner of the Patriots, Kraft, they got a long had a working relationship. They had talent. Same thing happens even in Pittsburgh, right?
I like
give him-
Lord Crimson. He said even with TB12, he still had to cheat. What are you even saying? Hey,
Nah.
listen, baby, you ain't cheating. You ain't trying.
You ain't trying, baby.
Where's Jim Harbaugh, baby? I'm looking for Harbaugh on the sidelines.
He only says that because he's not a Patriot fan. If he was a Patriot fan, he wouldn't even say that.
Well, the point is
I
that
don't care.
what I'm saying though, the thing is that you let someone build and have their vision. It's hard to sit there and switch things out. Like we said from the outset, this team, they've changed the culture for the first time in over 30 plus years, that now they have a new president of operations for the Chicago Bears.
Yes.
Like it takes a while. You can't, this is an aircraft carrier. You can't just turn it around on a dime.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying,
He
but
likes
it's
that. He
true.
likes
It
that.
takes a
He says
while
that a lot.
to rebuild that. You know, you're building the structure, the organization. So this is a very pivotal moment in this team. But I mean, I think people are worried about this cap to a degree. But if you got the talent, I do think that Fields has the talent.
Must be salary cap watching like they spending the money, like it's coming out their taxes.
And they don't even be understanding it. Like
Which
after
was
really
gonna say,
diving into it.
Well, on to his point, I like
Lord
what he
Crimson.
just said. I mean, we're complaining about a house that's leaking. We've already built the foundation. The walls ain't even set, so you know the roof ain't on. I mean, let's get
No
real.
point.
I mean, we're getting ready, and the Browns back in the day are probably really upset that they fired a really good head coach that was with the Patriots. You know what I mean? And I think right now you need continuity with a guy like Justin Fields. I mean, we can get behind Justin Fields. It's easy because he puts on his cape. He does all these miraculous things. He's gifted 4.4 speed. He's running. He's throwing. He does everything, jukes people out of their jock straps. Unbelievable talent. But you don't see what happens
Where'd you go with that one?
you don't see what happens with these coaches. They're rookies too. They're not perfect.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect.
That's facts.
And so it takes time. And the only thing you're going to do is mess with this kid's marbles. I mean, he's going to be so confused when you throw all these different things at him.
7 pauses in this. He's
Unbelievable.
crazy. He on the
Now,
road.
now, if I could just ask
Rachel-
Not wrong.
Hey,
He's not
Rachel-
wrong at
Hey,
all. He went with some crazy
Rachel
bars.
Orgel said,
Hey,
he
strip
said,
him out of
who's-
his jock strap.
Wait,
Crazy bar.
Hey, Rachel Oracle said, "Who's the light skinned
Who's the
brother?"
light-skinned brother? Hey, still keeping it light skin. This is wild. This is wild. He's a light-skinned brother on the show of light-skinned brothers. Hey, yo, he literally just did the what was it, DMX when not DMX, who was it?
What?
Mystical when he got on the beat. You gonna put on a monster beat? Have you ever seen him fighting in the forest with a grizzly bear? Help the bear! Why's he yelling? What's going on? No, honestly, to Brandon's point though, like there is still a long way to go, and that's why I said this is going to be such an interesting season to see what Ryan Poles does, because like I said, I would say 8 out of 10 GMs move on from Justin Fields. But you know what? Literally every single person who doesn't like Justin Fields says, well, if you put him with the right coach, he's probably got a ton of talent, but we won't have that time here.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest thing that I hear in the world. You want to know why? Because you're literally saying,
I actually want to know why. Because
here's why.
Here's a counter argument.
Here's why. If I hire the right coach, you're good.
Yep.
Yeah.
If I put the right person in charge, like the onus is right here now. If I put the right person in charge, I know that you're going to be talented and you're going to go out there and dominate the league. How do I know that?
Hold on. That's great. Onus is right there, right?
Yeah.
Put yourself in his shoes. Who's the right coach, and what happens if you're the problem?
What
Hold
happens
on.
if you're the
That's-
problem player?
You have to consider both perspectives. Ryan Poles, like people are calling for Ryan Poles' job, and he done hit on his picks. He don't hit on his picks.
I'm gonna
We
be
built
real
the
with you. I'm gonna
defense
be
and
real with
stuff
you.
like that.
I don't.
People are doing it. That's stupid.
The
though.
Ryan Poles job getting called for the storyline
was
like,
a stupid.
I keep wondering where that's coming from. Because nobody inside the Bears organization is saying
Facts.
that. None of the Bears beat reporters are saying
It's
that. This
media
is like I can't even think of a good freaking media conference. Nick Wright basically saying, I've heard through the grapevine.
You picked the right
Lord
name, 'cause
Crimson,
I
are
can't
you
stand
saying
him. I can't
Arch
stand that
Manning,
man, bro.
Lord Crimson?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't
said
like
what?
him so much. I might not shake his
He
hand.
said you
if I
got
saw
2
him.
years on JF1 rookie deal. Do you know who is the
No, it
draft
ain't
in 2
petty.
years?
He
I'm
said
like,
some
Arch
wild
Manning.
stuff on air that he didn't walk back, and it was just like you just that disrespectful, dog. Like that's crazy.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
Like Nick Wright is that
I'm
type
not
of dude.
I'm not a Nick Wright fan. Personally.
Not at all. So, but here's the thing, and this is the counter. Like you said, 8 out of 10 GMs would do it because I'm not willing to risk my career and my reputation on your maybe.
No, but here's the problem though.
Because
right?
if I put in a new coach, I have to have the new system. And one of the things that has been documented about Justin Fields is you're slow on the curve to pick up.
Yes.
So if you're slow on the curve to pick up, guess what?
He relies on himself more than
I am betting on you to pick up this new scheme in enough time to prove to me that you're the guy and you no longer have the time.
But we've seen
from a business perspective, you don't have 3 years anymore.
But
you
I
got
think
a year, if that.
Here's the problem, right? Here's the problem. And this is the part that nobody
And this was your year.
and nobody this is the part that nobody takes into account. Who owns this football team?
No, we take that into account.
No, we don't, because you know what? Technically, he's halfway there. The defense looks good, boys. It reminds me of what Papa Bear built in '85. Oh my goodness,
But
we got a defense. We're running this back, and the offense looks better than an offense that we've seen here in Chicago.
But now you're trying to
years.
tell me that you're going above the guy whose whole claim to fame in the city was, if I can't call the shots, I don't want to be here.
Yes.
Well, he lost that job anyway already because somebody got hired above him. So
even with Kevin Warren, like you don't start building that org chart just to sit there and run back to the excuse, oh, well, George McCaskey owns the team. No, you have an org chart. Let us run this.
Yeah,
let us do this.
Kevin Warren,
and since we've never
Kevin
been
Warren's
here,
supposed
no
to
one
run
in the
the team.
room has any historical record to tell me something different. We've never been here.
no, but I think here is the thing with Justin Fields right now. The risk you have is the same. Say you take a quarterback, Justin Fields leaves, he gets with the right coach, he goes out there, he balls out.
That's not a risk.
That's absolutely a risk.
No, it's not.
Huge risk.
That's absolutely a risk.
No, it's not.
That is
the
poor.
Drew Brees,
No.
Phillip Rivers conversation.
No,
No,
you wanna
it's
know
not.
why?
And
Because
both
Phillip
of them are
Rivers-
legendary
No, it's not.
QBs.
It's Lamar Jackson.
It's Lamar Jackson.
It's the
Lamar
yes,
Jackson
it is.
what?
That Joe Flacco was there. They got a new coordinator after they fired him, and they backed up Lamar Jackson. All of a sudden, this dude is MVP, or he won MVP in what, in his second year
Is
of this offense?
Is Drew Brees not one of the best QBs in NFL history?
Sure, by the numbers,
Where was he drafted?
San Diego.
San Diego.
Discovered by the Germans.
Who did they replace him with?
Phillip Rivers.
Is he not a legendary QB?
No, why did
He's
they
not Drew
replace
Brees.
him?
He's not.
No, kid. Wait, stop. They only replaced him because he was injured. He hurt his shoulder.
And he broke his leg.
He chooses between Miami or New Orleans, and they were like he and also Dante Culpepper was one of the other guys at that time. They were looking for finding a home. Breeze decides to go and they take the gamble with New Orleans. All of a sudden with Sean Payton, boom. The whole point is that because Breeze was very inconsistent and he got injured, and they already had drafted Rivers because Rivers was sitting there. They were like, you know what? We're going to go ahead and just move with Rivers, and they let him go.
Yeah, Drew played a year.
Drew Brees actually just did an interview about this year. He talks about the fact that they told him before they drafted him where they were going with this.
Yeah, he had that shoulder injury,
Yeah,
right?
he already said that he thought that and they already told him where they were trying to go. So, like, I hear you in theory, but like out of the horse's mouth, it's a totally different story.
The point is that he wasn't playing well.
He wasn't playing well enough either.
He was very inconsistent.
He goes on to be a Super Bowl winning Hall of Fame.
So what are you saying, kid?
What I'm saying
we
is
get a right coach that will help get this guy to do well. He's got talent.
What I'm saying is stop being afraid of someone moving on and being in a situation that best fits them because it's not what you currently
So what
have.
you're saying by your logic, Agent Chaos, is to let him leave and then he become a
good.
Pro Bowl quarterback,
There's a-
Hall of Famer somewhere else, and we're stuck in the exact same spot drafting another
Hopefully he
guy
becomes a Hall of Famer.
Because here's the thing.
Hopefully he
Because
becomes
here's the
a-
thing. To your conversation.
Hopefully he
How
does.
much jewelry Phillip Rivers got?
More than we
we
zero,
ran about the same amount of
zero. Phillip Rivers couldn't get out the second
Rivers.
round.
How much jewelry does Phillip Rivers
He
have?
can't get out the second round.
Phillip Rivers couldn't even literally.
They had
get you
13
to
and 3
a-
teams,
to
and they
a-
lost.
Super Bowl.
Marty Schottenheimer, they played Marty Ball. Marty Ball killed them.
At
The
any
wrong
point-
coaches
hold
with
on,
Phillip Rivers
hold-
every 4 years.
Hold on. But are we trying to say that Phillip Rivers, just talent alone, isn't a Hall of Famer?
Well, sort of, but he
Uh,
couldn't
I'm
win.
I'ma
He
tell
has
you
0
this.
rings. He's a Hall of
I'm
Famer.
gonna tell you this right now. When somebody asked me that the other day, I said, "Well, what did he accomplish?"
He's a prolific passer.
I love it.
They had one of
What
the
did he
best
accomplish?
lines.
He's a Hall of Famer.
What did he accomplish?
Great personal numbers, nothing big.
Outside of 10 kids,
He's the modern. He's the modern.
you know he's no
Hey,
kill.
He's the modern
that is
Dan Marino.
legendary.
You
but
know
he
he's no
couldn't-
kill.
But he couldn't get out of the second. I don't think they got out of.
If he's the modern day Dan Marino, he's a Hall of Famer.
I wouldn't go that
My Dan
I
Marino
want
went to
a winner,
Super Bowl.
kid. I don't want to. I don't
I'm
want to
just
be.
going by what he
Dan
said.
Marino went to a Super
I'm just
Bowl.
going by what he said.
But
He's a modern
Rivers
day
never
Marino.
got. He just got all the yards. The whole point is they couldn't win. You know what's messed up about San Diego? They had They had LT, one of the best offensive lines. They had Lorenzo Neal. They had Junior Seau. They had an amazing team.
And what was the problem?
And the
4
coaching
years, we
got
changing the
conservative
coach.
because you play Marty Ball. They called it. He lost in Kansas City. Marty Ball did not win in Kansas City. Coaching makes all the difference in the world. They could
Which
have
also
told
tells
Justin
you win one
Fields.
championship,
They could have
you got a
told him
job
against
done.
Cleveland, let it rip. Let it go ahead and run. They coached him out of his natural ability to do what he does to extend plays.
So let's say we stick with your thought. And again, I'm for it either way. But let's say we stick with it. Given the facts, not what you think, the
I know that this
facts.
conversation started off me
Right.
saying polls could go either way.
I know, right?
But he just like, you gotta cut him. Oh Jesus! Oh sorry. Oh whoa! Hey, wait a
No,
minute.
I didn't say that.
Wait,
at all.
wait, oh,
That's not my
oh,
argument at all.
Oh,
My argument was with
somehow
this
we got the
thought-
Phillip Rivers as a Hall
with
of
this
Famer.
thought
I
process.
don't know.
It's just honestly, just being real.
Yeah.
You would take the bet on him picking up a new scheme going into his 4th year, and you have to start having extension conversations.
I would look. Okay, another scenario.
You
Even Alex Smith, #1 pick that went to San
how you keep
San
going back to
Francisco.
Alex Smith?
No, because
analysis,
Harbaugh took him.
Also made it further than Phillip Rivers.
Yes, Harbaugh took Alex Smith, who
I
was
could argue
a
that
limited
too.
quarterback and did some things. The
No, he
coaching makes
did
a
not
difference.
have a better. No, you cannot argue that.
What?
He did not have a better team.
I could argue that better team.
No, you can't.
Then they let him go. They pick up
Hey,
Kaepernick, and
hey.
Kaepernick was like a
Hold
second
on, hold
round
on,
pick.
hold on.
wasn't he?
Let's finish this thought.
Hey,
real
wait
quick.
a minute.
Hold on,
Wait a
wait,
minute.
wait.
a minute.
I'm not at war with 3 people here.
No,
Hold on,
no,
wait
no.
a minute.
Bang bang.
Wait a minute. Hold on, wait.
Shitty,
Time
bang,
out,
bang.
baby. Time out. You're not about to corner me.
Hey, what did he say?
You gotta put baby in the corner.
What's
Shut
that
up.
on? What's that on? Always Sunny. So then I walked in and I started blasting.
And the 2 guys over there, they pull out their hand. I got him in a full Nelson, and he swung his body.
Y'all about to get us kicked out of here. For
Oh,
real.
that's all right.
Oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, no, my point is that,
conversation.
but the point is that coaching and players, right? So you go to the right situation. So now we're seeing this like it can happen here. I don't think that. First of all, being
I
a
think you
quarterback
went
is
too far
very,
back.
huh?
I think you went too far back.
No,
Look at the NFL right now.
Yeah.
How many quarterbacks were not going to have jobs? A lot. That still have jobs because the right coach just got with them. Yep.
A lot.
Josh Allen was literally like, "Oh, he's a bust. We need to find another quarterback."
Yeah,
He drafted another
No,
quarterback.
then they got
But how
Dable.
many-
Dable made that dude the MVP dude. He leaves and goes to the Giants, and now he's back to now he's kind of regressing.
I like Sco. 8 out of 10 general managers want to steal Justin Fields.
Exactly. Like
Yes.
you
Well,
got talent.
I just think right, like in the modern NFL.
Thanks,
we
Baki Tua. I mean,
we
the same
see
thing.
that a
he's
lot.
a bust.
We see that a lot more now, and I think that's why there is a chance for Justin Fields to stick around here because he's gonna look around and be like, well, I get
Tua is such a
Oh.
bad example.
Tua's a great example.
Tua is a bad example.
He's a
Yeah.
perfect example.
No,
They were
no.
calling him
Of
a
what?
literal bust, and now this dude has got one of the best teams in the AFC East.
Whoa.
You gonna say because he got weapons?
No.
What was that? Weapons?
No, that's true. He does have weapons, but it's how Miami was built. We're avoiding how they were built. They built that team differently than Chicago was building their team.
Daniel's a good.
And
he's a
with
good
all
offensive
and with
player.
all
Yeah.
and so
I
with
got
all of
this.
that being there, like mind you, they were the way the time, the process there and stuff like that. I'm not saying that you can't have the same situation, but I'm saying that the way that they built it was so different. So for Pose to replicate that now, he would have to about face almost, and it's not possible. With every situation, although you might want the same result, our journey there is different. The journey for the Bears to get there is going to be totally different than how they did that with Tua.
And our
What did
journey-
they add with Tua?
and our journey's not even done yet.
Facts.
We're
Exactly.
getting ready to what we are right now, basically judging something that's not even done yet. I mean, this has to evolve. It takes time. You know what I mean?
What did they add with Tua?
Huh?
What did they add with Tua?
He said the team. Jalen Waddle before Tyreek Hill got.
He said the team was built completely different.
No, they got an offensive play. They went from a defensive head coach to an offensive-minded play calling head coach, and they added Tyreek.
Yeah,
and they have added some speeches because that Devin.
The rest of the team is the same. They built the team to be an offensive juggernaut the year.
To your point,
that they literally couldn't run an offense with Brian Flores. Yeah, I mean, like they built it for the offense, very similar to how Ryan Poles tried to build this team for an offense this year. And then they started looking around. It was like, hey, we're not really calling a lot of offensive plays. What's going on here? Why are we not trying to coach this guy up? But why are we not moving forward with him? In fact, they was just halfway through the season. It was like, can we get Tom Brady?
But
granted, if we can get Tom Brady,
it takes the right combination of talent with coaching. It's still 50-50, right? So regardless of the fact, like Tom Brady showed you he has talent. That man went from being in the system. He's learned he went through 3 or 4 different coordinators, right?
Crazy.
Charlie Weiss,
Tom
Brady. You know, then he leaves and he takes Jameis Winston's team. He go and win the Super
But they
Bowl.
were already rocking. They were already rocking.
That's how did Jameis thing.
Tampa had a number 2 offense before. All they said is like, Jameis, you're throwing way too many interceptions.
Way too many picks.
We need somebody to throw the least amount of picks because we've already got our team built.
They got
is that what we want to compare our quarterback to?
No, I don't think
it's
that's
not
what
even
we have
there
now,
yet.
no.
Do we want to compare our team to Baltimore like we were about 10 minutes ago? No, because they weren't rocking in there with like Property Brothers with a sledgehammer, knocking down all the walls and stuff.
Yeah.
That did not happen in Baltimore.
I think Baltimore.
They didn't knock it all down for draft.
Ooh,
draft
I like
They
Mal.
was it Mal? So they could go out and get these draft picks because they don't even have all those draft picks and players yet.
I like Mal Gooley
and Pat
Mal Gooley.
So Baker Mayfield is another prime example. You know, the man was hurt, which is why they gave up on him, right? And then this
shouldn't have came back.
Nah,
he shouldn't have came back.
He might have came back too early. They gave up on him, but he has some
I was
talent.
like, welcome back. Get the guy.
Well, no, they didn't want to pay him, right?
Yeah.
We don't know. He leaves.
He had a better.
He goes to Carolina, right? But sometimes that's what we said the other day. Sometimes it takes a while for some of these quarterbacks to like really settle in. Like you want instant gratification. You want instant results right now, especially with social media and everything and entertainment. This is the entertainment business because that's all we want. If it feels through for 300 yards and we lost, they'd be like, man.
Can I ask you all this though?
Yeah.
When did they get 2 of those weapons?
Last year.
Last year, right?
Yeah.
Year 3.
And they've been rolling since then, right?
Yes.
They've been rolling since then.
They're now rolling.
When everybody's healthy, yes.
Yeah, he had the head right.
So they got the weapons and they got results in the year that they needed to see it.
Yes.
Before they start having what conversation? Because Tua is coming up on a $200 million contract.
So what are you getting at?
I'm saying that this was his year.
You're saying this was supposed to be.
This is Fields' year. You all are thinking from a prospect, like you got to think about how this turns legitimately from that GM perspective. Like Tua is still on his rookie deal.
I still think Tua has a better setup in year 3 than Justin.
Yeah, but Tua has had more success because it was already pre-built. It was already something he could roll into. It's not fair. I'm not saying it's Fields' fault. It is a very unfair thing.
We're growing. I think the team can grow.
It was built with Tua.
But to your point,
it wasn't.
Jalen Waddle was built with Tua.
Yeah, but Tariq being there also changes that. You have somebody who
you added
his claim to fame is literally, I am so wide open.
Yes.
And guess how many professional players say, yeah, I think anybody could be an elite quarterback if you have these 2 fastest people in the league there.
So
he already had an offensive line.
So you added somebody who's but here's the thing.
It's called.
He had an offensive line.
He already had a line
that was allowing him.
He already had a run game.
Right. And this is why I say coach.
All of that stuff was built.
He had an offensive line that was allowing him to get sacked. Because he had offensive play callers that were calling plays that were 15 to 20 yards down the field, and it was taking too much time to develop. Mike McDaniel showed up, and he was like, okay, we got Jalen Waddle. Why don't we throw him some underneath routes every now and then?
It's called, but you still got to balance.
And then you add Tyreek into that, which adds a double-edged sword to that whole – like, it was being built with Tua. That's what I'm saying. Like, you look at the weapons the Bears have right now.
One.
DJ.
What? That's it.
And Coach.
Now, we all thought, it's not really. That's a safety play.
We got DJ.
No, but the whole point is a balance, right? So in most of these situations, even like how Tom Brady, for example, they had the no-name receivers. You don't need receivers to win. But guess what? They had a number one top running offense, right?
Yeah.
The same thing.
Bears refused to
Even when we went to the Super Bowl,
Tom
we had a
benefited
top,
from an era
but we
where
had
you
a
had to throw a
top
lot,
running game with one solid receiver, Muhsin Muhammad. Bernard Barron was another good receiver. Like, you don't necessarily have to have the cream of the crop receivers if you have something to offset that. We don't really have a true balanced running attack. I guarantee you, if we were able to run more, we would have won that game because we would have ate the clock a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't get why he's going away with it. Like, I will say the number one thing that's falling off about the Bears, and we already had an hour. We got to get up out of here.
Yeah.
The number one thing that's falling off about the Bears is this run by committee thing.
It don't work.
And guess what? Guess who makes that decision? Luke Getsy. That like it makes no sense. Every running back that I've talked to, professional running backs, literally say I need 18 to 20 carries. It don't matter if it's Saquon if you give him 6 carries. See, because he chanting for Saquon, but he loves the earth, wind, and fire running back, the thunder and lightning.
If we got a line
scenario.
to do it, okay.
Earth, wind, and fire.
Earth,
wind, and fire don't work.
Because Saquon is actually talented enough to break a couple tackles.
But I think here's the thing, right? You don't allow your running backs to get into enough of a lather. Like when you see when Deontay Foreman was good. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Lather?
That is crazy.
Rhythm.
Wow. Hey, Pat,
Enough of a rhythm.
Pat, when you said that, Pat, I'm going to understand. What you mean by that, my boy?
No, you don't allow your running backs to get into enough of a rhythm, right? Where you got 6 carries in a game. Now all of a sudden, Deontay Foreman, Khalil Herbert, and Roschon Johnson look like jokes. But when you had Deontay Foreman getting 18 carries in a game, he's got 109 yards. When you had Khalil Herbert getting 16 carries in a game, he's got 115 yards. To me, that's another decision by your offensive play caller to say, well, we don't want to overwork our guys. The whole mindset of this football team is literally we don't want guys to be overworked.
And what I don't get is that it's in the freaking rain. Like
It's
you
such a
run
game to
the
run,
ball when it's these type of inclement
it's
weather
the best
type
defense
stuff.
against the run, though.
But it doesn't. I mean, the whole point is that we can.
Yeah, but once you got up, you could have literally just
Yeah.
ate the clock.
You don't get scared to call run plays throughout the game just because you're going against the best
with
defense.
three runs.
Technically, so are we, and they just gave up.
Right.
But they were down in the game.
So
when you're up in the game, it's a little different.
Can we never answered the question, though. So let's just spitfire that and we could just discuss it on the next show. What's the focus? We're not in the playoffs.
We're going to build a hope. Okay.
Depth.
I think the mature answer that I don't want to see is that we're keeping Eberflus, and then somehow maybe Getsy is gone. That's what I think.
Clockwise. Cal, what you got?
Honestly, I'm hoping that we keep Fields and we build around that, obviously from the trenches. But realistically, the more I'm seeing it, I'm thinking they're probably going to reset with the offensive coordinator, reset with Fields, draft Caleb Williams, and go from there. That's what I'm thinking.
I think that, even with one of the best quarterbacks that I see right now, Patrick Mahomes, where's his weapons at? What's going on? 28 drop.
Yeah, we know what's going on,
28
man.
drop
Matt
balls.
Nagy.
28
Matt
drop
Nagy.
balls by the tight end. Now who's got their receiver over there in Miami?
Yep.
What's going on over there?
Yeah.
That guy, Tyreek the Freak, the Cheetah, is running faster than the Word of God. We don't have that. We got DJ Moore. Waddle. Like you said, over there in Miami, they had Waddle. They need a complimentary piece. They got Tariq. So let's get Marvin Harrison Jr. up in the house. And now we got 2 of them. Now they're going to respect our offensive run, just like they did with Dominic Rhodes, all those guys with
Indianapolis.
Yeah, Indianapolis and all them running backs. It didn't matter who they put over there behind Tom Brady. They were running it. I mean, there's guys that had rugby.
They swapped them out week by week too.
It didn't matter. Any one of us could get 5 yards straight up the middle. You know what I mean? That's what we need. We need a balanced attack. We need more weapons. We need all 53 11 herbs and spices on this in the soup.
I love this guy.
Love this dude's taste.
Bars.
11 herbs and spices. Dude is a beast.
Bars.
How do you follow that up? I don't even know how to follow that up. Like, I can't.
Well,
do
you
that.
got to. What's the
All right,
focus?
fine.
What's the focus, Jason?
Fine. Quarterback evaluation, as I've said for the last 5 weeks, Justin Fields has to continue to play as he's been playing. You have some really poor.
No.
Well, I mean, you have some poor teams that you're playing coming up. So I expect him to continue to get better. But I think going forward in the future, they're going to keep Justin Fields. They're going to bring in a coach that's going to play and call plays to his strengths. Harbaugh. That's my.
If I could
Let's
get
go
Harbaugh,
Harbaugh.
that's what I want.
That's my prediction.
My take on that is sorry.
Thank you.
You know,
Less than 5
I'm
seconds.
gonna be honest with you. I hate the fact that we even play that song when we like score. Like we need to find another like
That's
the
not-
old
no.
song.
That's
That's the
kid-
song.
kid,
I didn't
stop
hear.
it.
No, that's the
Kid.
Michigan
That's
fight
the Michigan.
song.
Okay, there you go. I'm sorry.
That's for
Kid.
Harbaugh.
I don't care.
You almost invalidated everything you was about to say.
Not at all. Anyway, rolling with it. Honestly, the next couple of games are all about evaluating Justin Fields.
Yep.
If he goes out there and plays bad, then gets this next game, I am actually open to the conversation that they had with Kurt Warner today in regards to the potential and thought process of benching him to save draft capital. Because if he goes out there,
You know why that won't.
if he puts out enough bad tape
Yeah.
against bad teams,
Yeah.
you ruin the opportunity
Fair.
to trade him. Right
Fair.
now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I want him to go out. I want him to kill Atlanta. I want him to kill Arizona. But if he struggles against that, it's like, hey, listen, I got to protect my interests both ways. It's a business move. It's not a personal move.
Hey, real quick, and who's all going to be at the game? But I'm going to be there Sunday. We're going to be tailgating and hanging out. So if y'all around there, look for the. I might have the GM hat on. See
You're
if
probably going to have the GM hat on. I think the focus to finish out this year is figuring out who is the issue. Because here's the thing. In my opinion, I don't care who the quarterback of the Bears is next year.
I really don't.
If Luke Getsy's the offensive coordinator of the Bears, we're
It's a
screwed.
problem.
He got to go.
Like I really believe that. Like I don't care who the quarterback of the I've seen enough where our biggest issues think about the games we can't stand that the Bears lost this year. Was the quarterback the problem? By the way, first 3 games next season, I don't care at all. Could care less. Win, lose, draw, don't care. Nope, don't care. You want to know why?
See some professionals.
NFL doesn't care. Nobody cares in the NFL.
I want to see professionals.
Nope. You ain't see it around the NFL.
I-
You didn't see it around the entire league.
Philly cared.
Philly cared what?
Philly's like 10 and what are they? 10-3.
Philly was just the best team out of the bunch that was actually running something out.
I want that team.
Hey, look, and they play later in the season. What was
I don't
that?
want a mediocre team.
What was that?
God dang it. That's my
Most
angry
aggressive I've
old
ever
man
seen in
voice.
this.
Shout out to Zeke TV said we're extremely close to be a perfect team. Real talk, lose out from here. Draft MH Jr. with the 2nd pick, trade back, a left tackle and a defensive end. Well, I mean, listen,
Yep, that's it.
you might be able to do that. I don't know if I'm on the.
You might be
Here's
able
the
to do
thing.
that in
Trade
Madden.
back.
Go
I
right
think
ahead.
here's the problem. Here's the
Go
problem.
right
Here's the
ahead.
problem with the lose out conversation.
No.
You've won 5 games. Is if you lose out, that means Matt Eberflus told his defense stop playing because the quarterbacks that you're playing aren't good enough to be how this defense has been playing. And I'm going to say what this defense has done.
And again, if you lose out and Justin Fields is playing, you're ruining his opportunity to be the starting QB next
Yeah, but I
season.
think here's the thing.
Like that's period.
If
Watch,
you lose
Draft,
out,
watch.
that means your defense is giving up points to the opposing quarterback.
We hope that's the case.
No, but even so, like,
We hope. I'm just saying. we
listen,
hope that's
if
the
you
case.
lose out the next 3 games, like 7-0, okay, that's different. But if you lose out, that means that Kyler Murray and I don't even know who's starting in Atlanta. Now, is
I
it
don't
still
even
Ritter?
know who's on the team.
Desmond Ritter?
Desmond
Oh, yeah,
Ritter.
Desmond Ritter.
Desmond
Yeah.
Ritter
Yeah.
and Jordan Love cooked a defense that was able to shut
Jesus,
down 2 of the top offenses.
And
in the
can we
NFL.
like be for real? Look, the Green Bay game carries a lot of weight.
Yeah, winning
If
that
your
game.
argument for McCaskey is that's what we're
No,
sticking
yeah.
with.
Listen, winning that game is what matters.
Jordan
Bears
Love,
are still in the playoff hunt.
Dog, if
technically.
Jordan Love looks better than Justin Fields again,
Playing spoiler would be great, but
you gonna sit back and be like, yeah.
Nah, if Jordan Love looked better than Justin Fields again.
It's gotta go. You gotta go.
Well, see, this is why.
Yeah,
well,
it's
this is
tough.
why
Gotta
it's
go.
so
You got-
important.
if you gotta go, you gotta go.
If you gotta go, you gotta go.
hibbity hop.
And that ain't even fair.
Hibbity hoopla.
Not even fair.
Hey, but that's why it's so important for us to win out, man. Like the rest of these games, even if we're not in playoff contention. Honestly, if you're going to trade Justin,
Still
you
are.
want him to play well because then his draft stock goes. I mean, his trade capital goes up.
Yeah.
But if GMs are only willing to give up a 2nd or 3rd round pick for Justin Fields right now,
That's
all he's
you're not
worth.
really getting anything.
No, a 2nd round pick is great.
That's
a
great.
starter.
That's all he's
But
worth.
that's what I'm
Second
saying.
is
Like,
fine.
He's
wouldn't
not
you
worth it
rather-
first.
If you trade back the first pick, don't you get way more capital if you trade back the
No,
first
no.
round?
Cal,
The
we're never
idea to
trading
your
back
point
the
is
first
that if we get the first pick and trade down, we could potentially get maybe 3 number 1 picks.
Right.
If you also trade Fields, you
Where
might
you
get a 2nd round pick if not more. So now you're talking about possibly picking up 4 extra picks.
Where do you get these? Where do you get this 3 number 1 pick thing from?
Well, we got 2 number
got
ones
two.
and
The
a
one that's
second
traded
round
for
and a
and 2
Pro Bowl
future.
receiver with last year. So why wouldn't we? He tried to get 3 number ones, but then he put in DJ Moore. Like that pick is worth a lot.
Yeah.
He tried to get Brian Burns.
Especially this year without.
They was like, we're not answering
Yeah.
the call on Brian Burns. Brian Burns sat out the next 6 weeks. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Follow us on everything and all that good stuff. Y'all see the socials down there. Gang, 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 gang. Shout out to the squad coming through.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody showing love. And as always, your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Are the Bulls winning? I don't know. Peace.
Man, who cares?
You know we cover this team.